Hi. So, I've never articulated this before. I'm going to try, but to put it lightly, no one really knows what I'm doing right now. No one really knows the ins and outs of my plan. No one knows what I've been brewing. No one knows, well, actually, one person does know, my psychic medium mentor. But even to the extent I have told her dribs and drabs, no one really knows the overarching kind of essence of what I'm creating for myself. And even I haven't articulated it before, so I'm probably going to blow my own mind while I speak it out loud right now. I'm creating a life for myself is what I'm doing. I'm setting up passive income, creating passive income, but that passive income is creative outlets for me that will in turn provide. That's the energy I'm putting into them. And I'm going to be explicit now and tell you what I'm planning. I don't know if I'll ever upload this video, but if I do, lucky you. It's a big feat, so yeah. So the first thing I'm doing right now is I'm writing a book. I started it about 2 months ago now. I received all of the codes and downloads and chapters and information I needed to start the book, and every week, or as often as I possibly can, I sit down and I channel that book into form, physical form, well, digital form actually. And then I will I am aiming to have it published hopefully by the end of the year. I then am also creating I don't know how to explain it. I'm creating a collection of art, I guess. It's got a name, not an no, I can't remember the name. Anyway, I'm creating a collection basically, and it is called Delusional Embodiment, and it is basically me painting and doing some energetic work with that painting, but also using words and language, or English language, to put affirmations on that on the art that then help you embody whatever it says. The aim is to shift the consciousness when it's read with the colour intertwined into the work, because all colour holds energy and or frequency. So that's the idea there. So that's two things. The third thing is my online readings. So this hasn't taken off yet, and the reason it hasn't taken off yet is because I'm still currently building my brand and who I am and what I'm about, and how I show up in the world, and how my mind works, and what I like to talk about, and how I can help you, and how can I help you basically evolve your consciousness beyond the state that it's in now. And in order to do that, you have to understand who I am in order to want to receive what I'm able to provide you. So right now that brand is being built in the background through my Instagram and through my YouTube. From my own experience, I've always wanted to document my own thoughts. And that's kind of one thing that I kind of do for me more than anything. This YouTube is more for me than anything, because there is going to come a time in my life where I want to look back on my journey and understand what happened and how I got here and remember all the little bits, and I think video and or photos hold energy. And so I want to be able to look back on this time in my life and just have appreciation, but also have full memories, so that's another thing, and that also adds to me creating my brand. It just fulfills a deeper need for me more than it does fulfill the brand, but also creates the brand in itself, and it finds the people that it needs to find, really. Also adds to my readings and stuff, so if people found me online, they could find me on Instagram too, so that intertwines. What else are we doing? We're also studying, obviously studying the Artist Way, and really diving deep into the habits that I want to change for myself and the little things that are really that have kept me stuck in my past, and just diving into those so that I can uncover them before moving into the next chapter of my life, which is a big chapter, and a chapter that I know I'll reach in due course. What else are we doing? Oh, my Instagram, the way I'm creating my brand right now is through the versions of me. Because I personally believe that each one of us have a personal brand. You as a human carry so many different versions of you that it creates who you are. And that brand is you. And so if you go onto my Instagram, you'll find little highlights that speak to the versions of me. So I've got one that says the soul self, which is like my one when I'm at home in Bali. And then I've got the creator, I've got the mystic, I've got the activationist, which I like to call it. I've got the teacher, I think. I've got the SJW, social justice warrior. I've got the child, or the inner child. I've got a few on there. Anyway, and so when I post to my story, instead of it just vanishing into thin air, I like to save them to my highlights because they represent, each thing that I put up on my story represents a version of me. And so when someone goes on my page, they can go through my highlights and click through them and understand a little bit of who I am, really. So it's more of an establishment of my brand than it is just me posting. So that's fun. I've really enjoyed doing that, actually, and not many people know that I've never really spoken about it, to be honest, so I don't think that people really know about it. But maybe now that you do, you'll go back and have a look and be like, oh, cool. Or maybe you won't, I don't know. So that's cool. What else am I doing? We're still working a 9 to 5. We're still working a 9 to 5. We're here still. And we're enjoying it. We are. But we also know that it's not the long term. So while I am building the long term, I am also in the short term and really in this too, and learning and experiencing and giving what I can, because I know it's all part of the journey just as much as the long term goals. So yeah, look, I'm doing a lot. And to be completely frank, I've always desired doing this much for myself, creating all the things and having it all, right? That's what we all dream of, having it all. But for so many years I restricted myself around my 9 to 5 and didn't really allow myself to find the balance that I was so craving. And so when I took on this role, I set the intention to have balance for myself, and that balance has now allowed me to really step into creating for myself and exploring what that looks like and giving my time and my energy to what I want to make of this life. And it feels really good. It feels aligned for me, and it feels like I'm on the right track to get exactly what I want, because I know what I want and I know where I'm headed and I know how to get it. And I know that all the actions that I'm taking right now are just small steps to where I'm going. But I'm also really enjoying the process at the same time, really. And I won't be sad when it's over, because it'll be the next experience that I step into when this part of my journey is over. But yeah, there's just something that is so, like, there's something that's just making me want to stop in my tracks and be like, look around, girl. Look around at what you have. Look around at what you're creating. Look around at what you're walking into, you know? Look around at the life that you're creating for yourself, and just keep fucking dreaming. Because I can't tell you how delusional I have been in thinking about what I can create for myself. And slowly but surely that delusion has turned into real knowing that I can have it. And I know that. So, I don't know. That's just a little overshare from me. I didn't expect to share that much, but here we are. There's been part of me that really wants to keep all of it concealed and not share it for some reason. And I also know that part of me has not shared things in the past out of fear of not achieving them, to be honest. And I am consciously making a change to that pattern in my life, because I want to speak my things into existence, and I am. This is me doing that, you know. Words carry energy, and so do all of my thoughts, but I want them to, both in tandem with each other, create my reality. And that's what I'm aiming to do by posting this. And I'm so scared, but also there is 90% freedom in me posting this, and liberation, and like just letting what will be, and 10% fear, not even 10%, to be honest. Like, I have tingles all over my body as I just said that. Maybe it won't work out, maybe it will. But I sure as shit know that what I am creating feels far better than what I've experienced in my past. And I think that's because I'm creating it for myself and not allowing my reality to dictate what I want. So, I mean, I knew that stepping into this year I was going to start co-creating, and I didn't know what that looked like, to be honest. I just knew that I wanted to co-create with the universe, and this is me co-creating with the universe, straight up. And what she's given me so far has been incredible. And I'm really happy and feeling fulfilled in myself. I'm feeling aligned and balanced in all the things. And don't get me wrong, life's not perfect. Don't get it twisted. Life's not perfect. But I always find resonance in the fact that I know where I'm going. I always find resonance in the fact that whatever will be, will be. And I also find resonance in that 90% of the time you don't know what it looks like, or you try and imagine what it looks like, and it ends up being far, far better than what you even pictured, you know? So I'm going to leave it there. This is 15 minutes long now. I've been wanting to do this for ages, so it's okay. But I don't know. I could literally stare out the window and just think about it all day. But I have to get back to work now. Okay. Have a good day.